and I calculate that I'm worth my weight in goldenrods. Lucky, lucky me, I can live in luxury, 'cause I've got a pocket full of dreams. I'm no millionaire, but I'm not the type to care, 'cause I've got a pocket full of dreams. It's my universe, even with an empty purse, 'cause I've got a pocket full of dreams.
Homes for You and Lucky Bird Brands bring you Sorry, Wrong Number. Good evening. Tonight, we'd like to take you on a journey through both space and time. We will be taking you back to 1943. It was a time of war across the world, a time when most people spent their evenings in front of a magical box in their living room called the radio. This theater of the mind could transport people to wondrous places. It could inform, entertain, and encourage. It could make you laugh or fill you with terror. This evening, allow us to indulge in the latter. This drama, penned by Lucille Fletcher, was called by Orson Welles the greatest single radio script ever written. During the golden age of radio, repeat programs were exceptionally rare. But this play was rebroadcast multiple times due to audience demand. And so, we present it for you tonight. Lucille Fletcher's chilling drama, Sorry, Wrong Number. Let's travel back from our day of cell phones and high-speed internet connections to a time of being tied to a landline, rotary dial, telephone. So turn down the lights and prepare yourself for this suspenseful story. Sorry, Wrong Number.
Oh, dear.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Murray Hill 70093 for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy. I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me, please?
I'll be glad to try that number for you. One moment, please.
I don't see how it could be busy all this time. It's my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I'm all alone here in the house. My health is very poor, and I've been feeling nervous all day.
Ringing Murray Hill 70093.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, George?
Yes, sir. This is George speaking.
Hello, who's this? What number am I calling, please?
I'm here with our client.
Oh, good. Is everything okay? Is the coast clear for tonight?
Yeah, George. He says the coast is clear for tonight.
Okay.
Where are you now?
In a phone booth. Don't worry. Everything's okay.
Very well. You know the address?
Yeah, I know. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on 2nd Avenue for a beer.
That's right, at 11 o'clock.
I will make sure all the lights downstairs are out.
There should be only one light visible from the street.
Yeah, I know. At 11:15, a train comes across the bridge. It makes a noise in case her window's open and she should scream.
Hello, what number is this, please?
Yeah. You remember everything else, George?
Yeah. I make it quick. As little blood as possible because our client does not wish to make her suffer long.
That's right. You'll use a knife?
Yes. A knife will be okay. And afterwards, I remove the rings and the bracelets and the jewelry in her bureau drawer because our client wishes to make it look like a simple robbery. Don't worry. Everything's okay. I never make...
Oh, how awful, how unspeakably awful. Oh, I need to call the operator.
Your call, please.
The operator, I've just been cut off.
I'm sorry, what number were you calling?
Why, I was supposed to be calling Murray Hill 70093, but it wasn't. Some wires must have crossed. I was cut into a wrong number, and I've heard the most dreadful thing. Something about a murder. And operator, you simply have to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon. May I help you?
Oh, I know it was a wrong number, and I had no business listening, but those two men, they were cold-blooded fiends, and they were going to murder somebody, some poor innocent woman who is all alone in a house near a bridge, and we've got to stop them, we've got to...
What number are you calling, please?
Well, that doesn't matter. This was a wrong number, and you dialed it for me, and we've got to find out what that was immediately.
What number did you call?
Oh, why are you so stupid? Do you mean to tell me you can't find out that number that was called just now?
I'll connect you with the chief operator.
Oh, I think that's perfectly shameful. Now, look, it was obviously some little slip of the finger. I told you to try Murray Hill 70093 for me. And you dialed it, but your finger must have slipped, and I was connected to some other number. And I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply fail to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again on purpose. Why couldn't you try to dial Murray Hill 70093 in the same sort of careless way?
Murray Hill 70093?
Yes.
I'll try to get it for you.
Well, thank you.
I'm sorry, Murray Hill 70093 is busy.
No, operator!
Your call, please.
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked you explicitly, and all you did was dial it correctly.
I'm sorry. What number are you calling?
Well, can't you for once just forget the number I'm calling and do something for me? Now, I want to trace that call. It's my civic duty, and it's your civic duty to trace that call and apprehend those dangerous killers. And if you want...
I will connect you with the chief operator.
Please. Oh, dear.
This is the chief operator.
A chief operator. I want you to trace a call, a telephone call, immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be tracked down. Because it was about a murder that someone was planning. A terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Well, can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
I'm not certain. It depends.
It depends on what?
It depends on whether the call is still going on. If it's a live call, we can trace it on the equipment. If it's been disconnected, we can't.
Disconnected?
If the parties have stopped talking to each other.
Oh, but of course they must have stopped talking to each other by now. Well, that was at least 5 minutes ago, and they didn't sound like the type who would want to make a long call.
Well, I can try tracing it. May I have your name, please?
Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Stevenson, but listen...
And your telephone number, please?
Plaza 42295. But if you go on wasting all this time...
And why do you want this call traced, please?
Well, no reason. I merely felt strongly that something ought to be done about it. Those men sounded like killers. They're dangerous. They're going to murder this woman at 11:15 tonight, and I thought the police ought to know.
Have you reported this to the police?
Well, no, not yet.
You want this call checked purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile...
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson, but I'm afraid we couldn't make this check for you and trace the call just on your say-so as a private individual. We'd have to have something more official.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You mean to tell me I can't report that there's going to be a murder without getting tied up in all this red tape? Why, it's perfectly idiotic. Well, all right, I'll call the police.
Thank you. I'm sure that would be the best way.
No, ridiculous, perfectly ridiculous. The thought of... I can't do I have to go through all this trouble.
Your call, please.
The police department. Get me the police department, please.
Ringing the police department.
Oh, terrible. This...
Police Station, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police department? Oh, this is Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Smythe Stevenson of 53 North Sutton Place. I'm calling to report a murder. I mean, the murder hasn't been committed yet, but I just overheard plans for it over the telephone, over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace down the call myself, but everybody is just so stupid. And I guess at the end, you're the only people who can do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a perfectly definite murder. I heard their plans distinctly. Two men were talking, and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in a house near a bridge. Are you listening to me?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue. And there was some third man, a client, who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and her bracelets and use a knife. Well, it's unnerved me dreadfully, and I'm not well.
I see. When was all this, ma'am?
About 8 minutes ago. Then you can do something. You do understand.
What is your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
53 North Sutton Place, 53 North Sutton Place. It's near a bridge, the Queensboro Bridge, you know, and we have a private patrolman on our street, and 2nd Avenue.
And what was that number you were calling?
Murray Hill 70093, but that wasn't the number I overheard. I mean, Murray Hill 70093 is my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home. I'm an invalid, you know, and this is the maid's night off, and I hate to be alone. Even when he says I'm perfectly safe as long as I have the telephone right beside my bed.
Well, we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevenson, and see if we can check it with the telephone company.
But the telephone company said they couldn't check the call if the parties had stopped talking. I've taken care of that.
Oh, you have?
Yes, and personally, I feel you ought to do something far more immediate and drastic than just check the call. What good does checking the call do if they've stopped talking? And by the time you've tracked it down, they've already committed the murder.
Well, we'll take care of it, don't you worry.
Well, I'd say the whole thing calls for a search, a complete and thorough search of the whole city. Now, I'm very near a bridge, and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue, and I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent around a radio card to this neighborhood at once.
And what makes you think the murder's going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
Well, I don't know. Only the coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue and the patrolman, the bridge.
2nd Avenue is a very long street, ma'am. And you know how many bridges there are in the city of New York alone?
Yes, I know.
Not to mention Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and the Bronx.
I know that.
How do you know there isn't some little house on Staten Island, on some little 2nd Avenue you've never even heard about? How do you know they're even talking about New York at all?
But I heard the call on the New York dialing system.
Maybe it was a long-distance call you overheard.
Oh, I don't.
Telephones are funny things. Look, lady, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broken in on that telephone call. Supposing you'd got your husband the way you always do. You wouldn't be so upset, would you?
Well, no, I suppose not. Only it sounded so inhuman, so cold-blooded.
A lot of murders are plotted in this city every day, ma'am. We managed to prevent almost all of them. But a clue of this kind is so vague, it isn't much more use to us than no clue at all.
But surely you would...
Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking this call was phony and that someone may be planning to murder you.
Me? Oh, no, I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm alone all day and night. I see nobody except my maid Eloise, and she's a big girl. She weighs 200 pounds. She's too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray, and the only other person is my husband, Albert. He's crazy about me. He just adores me. He waits on me hand and foot. He's scarcely left my side since I took sick, 12 years ago.
Well, then there's nothing for you to worry about. Now, if you'll just leave the rest of this to us, we'll take care of it.
But what will you do? It's so late. It's nearly 11 now.
We'll take care of it, lady.
Will you broadcast it all over the city? And send out squads and warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine.
Lady, I said we'd take care of it. Just now I've got a couple of other matters here on my desk that require immediate attention. Good night, ma'am, and thank you.
Oh, you idiot! Why did I hang up the phone like that? He'll think I'm a fool. Oh. Why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he come home?
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Murray Hill 70093 number again? I can't think what's taking him so long.
I'll try it for you.
Well, try. I don't see why he doesn't answer it.
I'm sorry, Murray Hill 70093 is busy.
I hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. If I could only get out of this bed for a little while. If I could just breathe fresh air, just lean out the window and see the street. Hello? Hello, Albert? Hello? Oh, what's the matter with this phone? Hello? For heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? Who's trying to call me? Why doesn't she answer?
Your call, please.
Hello, operator. I don't know what's the matter with this telephone tonight, but it's positively driving me crazy. I've never seen such inefficient, miserable service. Now look, I'm an invalid, and I'm very nervous, and I'm not supposed to be annoyed. But if this keeps on much longer...
What seems to be the trouble, please?
Well, everything's wrong! I haven't had one bit of satisfaction out of one call I've made this evening. The whole world could be murdered for all you people care, and now my phone keeps ringing and ringing every 5 seconds, and when I pick it up, no one's there.
I'm sorry. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put that call through, whatever it is, at once.
I'm afraid I cannot do that.
You can't? And why? Why, I ask?
The dial system is automatic. If someone is trying to dial your number, there is no way to check if the call is coming through the system or not, unless the person who's trying to reach you complains to his particular operator.
Oh, well, of all the stupid... And meanwhile, I've got to sit here in my bed, suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I can try and check the trouble for you.
Check it. It's all anyone can do. Oh, what's the use talking to you? You're so stupid. Oh, I'll fix her. And of all the impudent, how dare she speak to me like that? How dare she? Call the operator. Why does it take so long?
Your call, please.
Young woman, I don't know your name, but there are ways of finding you out. And I'm going to report you to your supervisors for the most unpardonable rudeness and insolence it's ever been my privilege. Give me the business office at once.
You may dial that number direct.
Dial it direct? I do no such thing. I don't even know the number. And
the number is in the directory, or you may secure it by dialing information.
Listen here, you. Oh, what's the use? Oh, dear. For heaven's sake, I'm going out of my mind. Hello? Stop ringing me. Do you hear? Answer me. Who is this? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Who's calling me? What are you doing it for? Now stop it. Hello? If you don't stop ringing me, I'm going to call the police. Do you hear? The police! Oh, if Albert would only come home. Oh, let it ring. Let it go on ringing. It's a trick of some kind. I won't answer it. I won't. Even if it goes on ringing all night. Oh, you ring, you go ahead and ring. Stopped. Now, what's the matter? Why did they stop ringing all of a sudden? Oh, what time is it? Where did I put that clock? Oh, here it is. 5 to 11. They're sure I'm home. They heard my voice answer them just now. That's why they've been ringing me. Why no one has answered me. I'll call the operator again. Where is she? Why doesn't she answer?
Your call, please.
Where were you just now? Why didn't you answer at once? Give me the police department.
I'm sorry. The line is busy. I will call you when...
Busy? But that's impossible. The police department can't be busy. There must be other lines available.
The line is busy. I will try to get them for you later.
No. I've got to speak to them now, or it might be too late. I've got to talk to someone.
What number do you wish to speak to?
I don't know, but there must be someone to protect people besides the police department. A detective agency.
You will find agencies listed in the classified directory.
But I don't have it classified. I mean, I'm too nervous to look it up, and I don't know how to use them.
I'll connect you with information. Perhaps she'll be able to help you.
No. Oh, you're being spiteful, aren't you? You don't care, do you, what happens to me? I could die and you wouldn't care. Stop it! I can't anymore. Hello, what do you want? Stop ringing, will you stop it?
Hello, is this Plaza 42295?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, this is Plaza 42295.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here for Miss Albert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I'm Miss Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Miss Albert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, New York. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for the last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed Albert.
Oh, no.
Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. Oh, no, I don't believe it. He couldn't do it. Not when he knows I'll be here all alone. It's some trick, some fiendish trick. It's some trick. Why doesn't she?
Your call, please.
Operator, try that Murray Hill 70093 number for me. Just once more, please.
You may dial that number direct.
No. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you? How could you? I can't be alone tonight. I can't. I'm alone. If I'm alone one more second, I'll go mad. I don't care what he says or what the expense. I'm a sick woman. I'm entitled. I'm entitled.
Information. May I help you?
I want the telephone number to Henchley Hospital.
Henchley Hospital. Do you have the street address?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s. It's a very small, private, exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley, H-E-N-C.
One moment, please.
Please hurry, and please, what is the time?
You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I've no time to be dialing.
The number of Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 70105.
Butterfield 70105. Butterfield 70105.
Henchley Hospital, good evening.
Nurses Registry.
Who was it you wished to speak to, please?
I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of this case, madam?
Nerves? I'm very nervous. I need soothing companionship. You see, my husband is away.
Have you
and I'm...
been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, but I don't really see why all this catechizing is necessary. I just want a trained nurse. I was a patient at your hospital 2 years ago. And after all, I do expect to pay this person for attending me.
We quite understand that, madam. But these are war times, you know.
Well,
Registered nurses are very scarce just now. And our superintendent has asked us to send people out only on cases where the physician in charge feels it is absolutely necessary.
well, it's absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman, and I'm very upset, very. I'm alone in this house, and I'm an invalid, and tonight I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in. And what is your name, madam?
Miss Phillips, and when do you expect her in?
Well, I really couldn't say. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, but it's not 11 yet. Oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it?
Just 15 minutes past 11.
What was that?
What was what, madam?
That click just now in my own telephone. As though someone had lifted the receiver off the hook in the extension telephone downstairs.
Well, I didn't hear it, madam. Now,
But I
about what-
did. There's someone in this house. Someone downstairs in the kitchen. And they're listening to me now. I won't pick it up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be very quiet and they'll think, oh, but if I don't call someone now while they're still down there, there'll be no time.
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I'm sorry. I cannot hear you. Please speak louder.
I don't dare. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry.
But you've got to hear me. Oh, please, you've got to hear me. There's someone in this house. Someone who's going to murder me, and you've got to get in touch with them. Oh, there it is. There it is. Did you hear it? He's put it down. He's put down the extension phone. He's coming up. He's coming up the stairs. Can be the police department. The police department. The police department. Get me.
One moment, please. I will connect you.
I can hear him. He's near. I can hear him. Hurry.
Police Station, Precinct 43, Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department, Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department.
Sorry. Wrong number.
Sorry, Wrong Number was written by Lucille Fletcher. Sarah Damon was Mrs. Stevenson, with Kearney Jordan, Henry McNulty, Jamie Shario, Carolina Bufford, and Ron Ford as George. Sound design and directed by Jerry Shario. I'm your announcer, Tom MacArthur. Thank you for listening.
I'm no millionaire, but I'm not the type to care, 'cause I've got a pocket full of dreams. It's my universe, even with an empty purse, 'cause I've got a pocket full of dreams. I wouldn't take the wealth on Wall Street for a road where nature trods, and I calculate that I'm worth my weight in golden rods. Lucky, lucky me, I can live in luxury, 'cause I've got a pocket full of dreams.